Okay, welcome to the podcast.
Good evening.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Let me just. I always get nervous when I start my intro, so. Okay, welcome to Sarah Chat's podcast. Today I have two friends of mine, Jonathan and Arlen, on the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Is Jonathan just like nodding his head? We need to hear like some vocals so that people can hear you. How was your day? Let's start with how was your day?
I ran an ambulance shift today, which is different because I usually don't run daytime, but I did today, and it was pretty chill.
Oh, okay.
We only had like one call, so that was, and of course it happened at like later in the evening, so it's like I went over my 12-hour shift. So.
Oh, so overtime.
Except I'll get paid. So.
Oh, volunteer.
Yeah, this man serves.
Okay. Let me first introduce you guys as Arlen. Arlen is a firefighter and an EMT person, right? And Jonathan, are you the same? Do you fight fires too?
Yeah. I do.
So you're both firefighters and EMT people.
Yep.
Okay, so how does that work?
What part?
Well, I guess
You're saying doing both?
Yeah.
Well, I think he has it simpler than I do, I think.
Oh.
But.
So like for EMS, like we both run a shift per week. So then that's where we would get a lot of our EMS experience in.
Okay, wait. So EMS, is that the same as EMT?
So EMS is called Emergency Medical Services.
Okay.
So EMS is like anything medical related, like out on the field.
Okay.
But an EMT is like a certification. So EMT stands for Emergency Medical Technician. So when you talk about EMS, it could be like an EMT, it could be a paramedic, it could be like
so
like a critical care, like flight medic, like stuff like that.
So paramedic, you're a paramedic.
No, we're EMTs.
Yeah, so it goes like EMTs, then advanced EMTs, and then a paramedic. And those are each different certifications, and you can do different things, like more skills at each one. So
it's all called EMS.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So it's all under EMS, but then
Correct.
You have more.
An EMT is like, it's a certification that you have.
Okay.
So.
And then you're qualified to perform certain skills at the EMT level.
So do you guys want to become EMTs?
So we are EMTs.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you're EMTs.
We are EMTs. But then
paramedic is
higher.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So like an EMT class is like, is it 200 hours? Something like that. And then advanced EMT is like another 200 hours. But then like to be a paramedic, you need to be in school for about a year to become a paramedic.
Oh.
So it's like a lot more complicated.
Okay, but do you get paid if you're a paramedic?
Yeah, most times.
Okay, so basically you guys are both volunteers, so you don't get paid.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
No, you can get paid as an EMT. You can't.
Oh.
But at the station we volunteer at, the daytime is paid and nights and weekends is volunteer. So that's just kind of different.
So you work during the day today?
But yeah, they were a little short today on paid staff, so I just volunteered. So
can't win.
It's complicated because you can't, like, labor laws don't allow you to get paid and volunteer at the same place.
Oh.
So you kind of need to pick what you want to do. And the benefits of volunteering is, I don't know, I like the fact that I get
serving.
Serving. And there's a lot of cool people I get to run with nights and weekends. So like if I would run daytime, then I wouldn't be able to run. Like my company wouldn't let me run nights and weekends because that's volunteer.
Okay. So are you like, so then when it comes to firefighting, which is volunteer as well.
Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah.
So that's where it gets complicated because, not complicated. So I started like 10 years ago as a firefighter.
Yeah.
With the station I live like close to.
You're like 13.
Like 15. Okay. Which you can start at a junior. Like you can't do much.
You can start at 14.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you can't do a whole lot until you're 18. It's more just
stuff.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much just station.
But you get to know the people and you get together.
Yeah.
But in Bird in Hand, where I live, that fire station doesn't have any like an ambulance. It's just fire. So then eventually I got to the point where I was like, I want to learn how to get into EMS. So then I had to join another station and do both.
So you're at 2 stations.
2 stations, yeah. He gets lucky enough, and he's at one station that does both.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyway, does that confuse you or not?
No, it doesn't. But wait, are you a captain or a chief?
I'm a captain at the fire company.
The fire company. Yeah. Am I right in saying you were the youngest captain?
Probably.
I feel like I saw it on Facebook.
I don't know if I was the youngest. I felt young.
I felt like I think your dad posted something.
Oh, really?
I became a lieutenant at 21. So
I mean, that's
like a week
I feel
before
like
my
that's young.
21st.
That's
birthday. It was.
That's not too young. I know there's some other 21-year-olds that have become like a lieutenant. So.
Okay. I don't know. I just watch all these TV shows, and okay. Does firefighting and paramedic EMS, does that how is it compared to these TV shows that we watch? Is it
it's
TV
not really
shows,
realistic? Comparable?
No, that's really not.
It's not.
No.
Is it because we live in a smaller town? Do you think?
The big one you see with firefighting is that they can see when they're inside of a fire. When you go into a fire, you can't see anything.
Everything's is it just black?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So you're just kind of trying to find your way through the dark.
And you have to use the walls. You have to reach out your hands and.
Oh, so that's really not.
No. So on the TV shows, yeah.
And you carry a tool
so
you can sweep a bigger area. So yeah, it's not at all comparable.
So
they're lying to us.
And then EMS there's some decent shows, but it's still.
But nothing really actually compares to how.
Just because you start watching stuff and you go, no, that's not how you do it.
That's actually not how you do it.
Yeah, that'd probably be more of the on the EMS side. You go, no, that's not. That doesn't make any sense. Or or how in the world would you know that?
So Chicago Fire is just all not great.
I mean,
if you enjoy the drama, the relationship drama in Chicago Fire, then sure.
No. But as far as the fighting fire part.
Now I enjoyed every one time Chicago PD is very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that even would compare to actual being a cop now.
Okay.
But I think that's a little bit more realistic.
Okay.
Than what TV fire shows are versus the actual.
See now all my thoughts of firefighting are just not correct. Yeah. What was the worst for you? What was the worst fire, Arlen, that you've ever fought?
Probably the one recently in Birmingham where the motel blew up.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
it exploded, blew up, or just okay?
No, it's not.
It blew up and was in smithereens. So that was probably the worst.
Oh wait, there was someone who.
Yeah, someone died in it too. But that one was, that was probably the worst. I don't know.
Okay.
Big is
10
not.
years of, or I should say maybe 8 years.
Yeah.
Since you officially were.
Yeah, so I would have been. So let's see, how old am I?
When did we do Central? Is that when you were interior?
Yeah, so that would have been
18 or 19.
Yeah,
okay.
So
about 6 years.
I'm counting my fingers. 6 or 7 years of interior firefighting. That was
that was definitely the worst one.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you as an EMS?
What? Can I talk about a fire call?
Yeah. You can talk about.
So probably one of my, I guess it would have been worse. It was probably one of my better ones. I mean, we got called for it was a motel. So it originally came in as an automatic alarm.
Okay.
And then right before we responded, it got upgraded to a building fire. Oh. And it was at a motel, and they had reports of people trapped.
Oh.
And so I was on the ladder truck, and we were the first piece there.
Okay.
and we went in and started searching for these people. And so there was only a small amount of fire, but there was a lot of smoke because it was in like a motel hallway.
Yeah.
And the only thing that was burning was actually like just a vending machine.
Oh.
So while I was searching
The
for
vending machine went kaboom.
so we were told to go. We were told like what room these people are trapped in and they can't get out. So we tried to find that, and while we were finding that, I went past where the vending machine was.
Oh.
So my guy right behind me, he had a what's called a water can.
Okay.
So it's like pressurized, so it's a pressurized water can that has, is it like 2.5 gallons of water?
Gallons, yeah.
Okay.
And so we made the fire out, and then we kept, and then right like that, one of the other people in the ladder truck found the room where these people were trapped.
Yeah.
And so we helped, I think we helped, was it 8 or 9 people out of like 3 or 4 different motel rooms.
Wow.
So we actually had to get them out the back then via ladders.
Oh.
And one of them actually had to, jump. So
Before you guys got
before we got there, and she
Broken bone.
like that affects her now. So
Was it like a 2-story?
it was, so on the front it was like 3 stories, and on the back it was I think like 4.
Oh, stop.
But it was on the
That is-
second floor, right?
Yeah. So they would have jumped that person would have jumped like maybe 18, 20 feet. But yeah, that was probably one of the craziest fires I ran. Like, yeah, just being first there, and you have people trapped, and because that's what they always preach. That like expect fire, expect victims.
Yeah.
And like literally, like this one, like you were told you have people trapped,
Yeah.
and so you knew that's where you were going. So that,
Oh.
yeah,
Was that like one of the most adrenaline rush fires?
that was probably, and I have that on camera, so I do like to watch it every once in a while.
Watches it back. Okay.
Guess where I was that time? I was leaving the house headed to Mexico to catch a flight.
Oh, and you were disappointed.
And I was listening to watching these heroes get
So-
You were so disappointed.
I couldn't believe it. But anyway, it happens. But yeah.
What made you get into the profession that you're in as a firefighter and an EMS? EMS.
EMT.
Oh, EMT.
So I joined the local fire department like just 2 miles where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't run there anymore because I moved, but then I had joined when I was 15.
Okay.
So I had some cousins and some uncles that were involved. So, and I always knew, like growing up, that's something I wanted to do because the fire trucks would go past, and my dad would sometimes drive me to like the scene.
Oh.
Like, and then if they would go past us, like we would like sometimes follow them, and so
you were those nosy people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was something that like was instilled in me like very young.
Yeah.
And so I was just doing firefighting for a while, and then in the fall of 2018 is when I took EMT class.
Okay.
And then right when I got into firefighting, I was like, I'm not gonna do like EMS. I'm not gonna get my EMT certification. It's like I'm not gonna be that guy, because a couple of my cousins were that where they joined the fire department, and like they enjoyed it so much that they wanted to get their EMT, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And then but I knew some people like from the fire department, like, and other people that had their EMT, like, and I was like, they would just tell the stories and like just some of the different experiences. So I was like, I'm gonna try this. So in the fall of 2018, I would have took class. So I've been in EMT for like 5 years. So in March of 2019, I would have got
your certification thingy-majigger, whatever it is.
Yeah. So it was like, as I was like getting older, like 16, 17, 18, it was like I enjoyed serving in that way, like helping people like in their, like when they call 911, and even like getting into like EMS, I was like, well, that's that's a little bit more personal than just firefighting because
yeah.
So that's kind of what like got me to do my to get my EMT. I just felt like that was where I was called to serve and like serve my community and make a difference that way. So it's been crazy. Like you get to see like different people's like you get to see people in like all different stages of life. It's nuts, and it's it can like you have to be careful with like how much you like put yourself into like with how much serving you do and stuff like that. But it's definitely like helping even my life perspective and stuff like that. So
you can't get like super personally involved in some situations, right? Is it hard to not get personally involved in some situations as an EMT?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not too hard because most times you don't have contact with those people after you after you take them to the hospital. I mean, dropping them off is like kind of rough, but
but it's like facts.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, I don't think you could get too like personally involved. I know there are some people like that you meet afterwards, like I was on a call already where the dude was having a heart attack and like he's living now and now when I see him, like he lives in a local development and like now when I see him it's like, oh, like that's pretty cool. Like
you helped save his life.
Yeah. So like experiences like that are cool and so
that's amazing.
Yeah.
What got you into firefighting?
Well,
did you do the same thing?
So my dad was involved for years, and
my
grandpa was and my great grandpa. So
it's
like a fourth generation.
Yeah.
And we all ran at the same department. So.
Okay. So everybody knows the Miller family.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'll let other people decide that. No, so like growing up, like Dad was always involved, and he would have been like a lieutenant and captain over the years.
Okay.
So then, what do? You just join
the same thing. Yeah.
So when I don't know why I waited till I was 15 because you can join when you're 14. I don't know. Anyway, I waited till I was 15 and joined, and then at 16 is when my local department allows you to start running calls, and then once you're 18 is when you get your interior firefighting status. So like when you're 16 and 17, you can just do outside things, like you're not actually allowed to go inside. And
like when you say inside, do you mean like inside a fire?
Yeah, like in a building. So
got you.
And then I was when I was 18, I became an interior firefighter and kind of worked the way up through it. Then obviously got the lieutenant spot and the captain spot over the years. But when I was in 2019, I ran a few like medical call or more like EMS related. Like we had a really bad motorcycle wreck, and we also had like a cardiac arrest where someone died. Well, they didn't die. We helped get it back by doing CPR. And I was like, I really want to know how to do more of this thing because as a firefighter, it's very very basic, like CPR, first aid. That's about all you know.
Yeah.
And
I don't even know.
I can teach you.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah,
I feel like I should. Oh yeah, that's right. You are. I feel like I should know that. Learn like. I feel like that's something that everybody should know.
It's
100%.
It's very good that
Like if someone goes into cardiac arrest, which means their heart stops beating.
Yeah.
Most times, if someone like a bystander or a family member doesn't perform CPR, the likelihood of them surviving is drastically less, even if we're there quick.
Yeah.
So so you should learn.
I should. Okay, so you know Bev and Ryan.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, but my younger sister Bev and her husband Ryan. So my parents were visiting them in Ohio a couple weeks ago, and Finley, their 9-month or 8-month or how old he is, started choking like on like a piece of, I don't know, something, and all of a sudden his eyes just went in his head and he just like. And Bev like starts freaking out, of course. And my mom and my dad like are like, oh no, everybody's like, Finley. And then Ryan, and she's like, that's like, I don't even know how to do anything, you know?
Right.
But then Ryan, fortunately, well, I don't know what he did, but he got
Yeah,
he did do that. See, I don't even know how to do that. Yeah, I am kind of screwed, I think. But, but yeah, like, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't there, but like, and then all her other kids saw this, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Talk about traumatic events at the dinner table.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, I forget where I was.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, I seen that. Like, I want to learn more of these skills.
Yeah.
And I would have known Jonathan at that time, and Irvin, another one of my friends, were both EMTs, and like, yeah, you should do this. I was like, okay, I'll go do a ride along and see what happens. And next thing you know, I decided to EMT class.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was in 2020. I did my EMT class. So I had an EMT for about 4 years now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And then Jonathan said you're an instructor, so you like teach EMT classes or firefighter classes?
at this point, it's EMT classes.
Okay.
Some I pick my topics. Like,
Oh.
I'm not gonna.
So you just kind of like.
I'm not
choose what
gonna
you
teach you
teach.
how to deliver a baby. I won't. But I can do some other things. Like,
Yeah.
you can get like super basic, super advanced, and
Yeah.
some things I'm more comfortable teaching than others. But you just finished up your instructor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Last fall I went through an instructor class to become an instructor.
Okay.
And then this spring at the station that we run at, we held an EMT class. So I was teaching there.
Oh.
So I was doing some teaching.
Do you guys enjoy teaching?
Depending on the topic.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
if it's something like I've done some super advanced where I'm like as an EMT, your medical knowledge is pretty basic.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get something a little more complicated, that stretches me. It's good for me because I learned a lot just teaching it.
Yeah,
But if it's more of a basic topic, I don't mind that. I enjoy more hands-on teaching. So like,
Got you.
for years at the fire company, I was involved in the training side of things, and I still am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's much more of a hands-on teaching, not classroom.
Yeah.
I knew if I want to stretch myself, I need to get into more like lecture teaching.
Yeah.
So it definitely stretches me. But
Yeah. Do your students have to like take tests, like a test after?
Yeah.
Do they normally pass?
depends on the student.
Yeah. So it
That was a heavy silence.
is how much like you want to put in as a student.
Okay.
Like when I did EMT class,
Mhm.
it was like 6 months. It was 2 nights a week, and like one Saturday out of a month. And like I took one day off of work a week to like study, and so I think that's like, and I just read a lot. I like did practice tests and stuff like that. So it's basically, some people are better learners, but it's basically, I mean, if you want to, it's not an easy. I would say the tests are not easy, so you're gonna have to put in some work to pass.
There's a few super smart people that say, "Oh, I never opened my book," and they passed. And I'm not one of those people at all, because it means, like, you need to read and study, and it's kind of your life for those 6 months.
Yeah.
But they're reading and studying, right? Or they're not. They just.
Well, some people just learn different. Like, some people they learn by a lecture, and they.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not saying that, like, it's kind of a little bit sarcastic that they don't open their book, but
no, I know.
some people just learn. But most of the people, it's a commitment. Like,
Okay.
like, your friends are kind of like, dude, you're studying again. It's like, I need to
No,
pass this test. Yeah.
I understand that when I was in college.
But
Psychology.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably test it too in college.
Yeah.
But in 2020, when I did my EMT class, it was in person for like the first like couple months, and then COVID happened, and then we like were freaking out because they shut down like all in-person classes. So we switched to online for like 3 more months.
Yeah, and how was that for you?
I didn't mind it, but it also helped that during that time I was off work because we didn't have work during COVID, like for a couple months, so I was able to study. Like I wasn't working, so I had plenty of time to study.
Yeah.
So it really didn't bother me like it did some people. But,
Yeah, got you. Have you guys ever responded to a crime scene as a paramedic? I mean, as an EMT? I'm not gonna get it
crime
as an
scene.
EMT or.
I actually
firefighter.
was just the other morning.
For
Go
me,
ahead.
crime scene, I can't say it was never a crime scene besides like if you are like if there's a fatal vehicle accident or really bad, like they're treated as a crime scene, so they do the investigation. In EMS, sometimes you get dispatched like an assault or something where someone decides to punch someone else or something.
And you have to get out, and you have to go because the cops have to like get the person that got punched. Like they have to technically get checked out. So I was at the scene the other morning where we got called for an assault. Someone got injured because him and his friend got in an altercation, and yeah, like his face was kind of messed up, and they actually had to like detain the one guy. So
Oh.
there was like 4 cops there. So you have interesting scenes like that.
What was the most dramatic? I'm not talking like firefighter, but like the most dramatic thing that happened.
Like a bad call or a funny call?
Well, I mean,
or
whatever you.
But actually, I have a funny, or
Yeah.
I guess it's very interesting. So I guess you knew I was on the scene of a baby
Yeah.
delivery like
Yes.
earlier this year.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was very interesting because so we got called for a maternity,
Mhm.
and so while we were going there, we requested a couple, or one of the paramedics going there requested a couple more units
Yeah.
in case the baby gets born.
Yeah.
Because technically you're not allowed to transport the mom and baby in like the same vehicle.
Oh, really?
It's because
the state
they
protocol.
have to be
safe.
secure.
But
But anyway, so the paramedic requested like a couple more units,
Yeah.
and we got there, and she was like actively like in labor, and like we got her in the back of the ambulance, and we're like, all right.
What do we do?
So it's called stay and play. We're gonna stay and play, and to like see if it happens. And we like waited for like 20, 25, maybe 25, 30 minutes. It just didn't happen. And so the paramedic in the back was like, all right, let's just make our way to the hospital, and if we need to pull over,
Pull over.
yeah, we'll pull over. So I was driving, so I had to get up front, and we were going into the hospital about 20 minutes in, 15, 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
The paramedic in the back was like, yo, pull over at this sheets just off the ramp here. So I like just literally had parked the ambulance off like at sheets. I literally had to put it in park. About a minute later, like
the baby was
the
born.
baby was born.
Oh my goodness.
So
then what'd you have to do then? Did you have to wait for the other unit, like other ambulance to
So
come?
there was another ambulance following us, but we were like only like 5 to 8 minutes from the hospital.
Okay.
So we decided to transport mom and baby
Okay.
like together.
we try to do that at all possible.
Okay,
Technically, you're
yeah.
supposed to do it separate.
To do
It's
the separate.
annoying, but
That would be like, that would kind of suck, I think, for the mom.
the reason it's there is because you can't really like. So if you put a patient on a stretcher, they get strapped in
Yeah.
more for like in
They have
case
to
you're
be
in an accident.
secured.
Gotcha.
So it's hard to do that
Seatbelted.
with. It's hard to do that with a little baby and a mom on a
Yeah.
stretcher. Like that just doesn't work. So that's why you're supposed
Wait,
to do it separate.
So on the stretcher, are they sitting or laying on the stretcher when they're
Either way, whatever.
Okay.
I mean, on a baby, it's going to
Yeah.
probably be landed.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
So yeah, that was probably one of the very most interesting. So that sheets that we pulled into will never be the same.
Which sheets was it?
The one on Oregon Pike.
Yeah, I know that one.
So yeah.
So now every time
So
you
I
go
was
there-
not like really involved in the delivery, but I was on the call, so I do take credit.
I was there. I helped. I was driving the
Most,
vehicle.
this is weird, but most guys are like, I would never want to do that, and I'm like, I want to be able to say
You helped deliver a baby.
I want to be like, am I gonna freak out? 100%. That's why I don't teach how to deliver babies.
But see, okay,
But-
if you want to help deliver a baby, you need to teach how to deliver a baby, Arlen. Make it make sense.
And it happened. I was actually on the scene of one again on Monday morning.
Oh. Arlen.
So
I'm like, this is not fair.
So
This
I
is
was
not fair.
So there I went to assist one of our crews that was there because I was in the supervisor buggy, and then I showed up, and should I tell him where?
Go for it.
Yeah.
So I was told that I'm not needed because she wasn't really she wasn't actively it didn't seem like she was having contractions. And then I was just pulling out the driveway when one of the crew members was like, can you actually come back? It's gonna happen. So I came back, and 10 minutes later, she was in the back of the ambulance, and we birthed another baby in the back of the ambulance.
Oh my goodness, that is wild.
Which, it's rare. And this, what was it? This year, there was 3 that are stationed.
3 in the last 6 months.
Whoa.
And if you get 1 a year, it's it's whoa, that's it's
that's
unheard
a
of.
lot.
And the people that call for maternities, not everyone's gonna call if they're having a baby, but it's first people that most times are first time
first
they're having a baby.
Yeah.
And it also helps if the midwife isn't around. Sometimes the midwife will say, hey, I can't come right now, just call 911. So those are some of the things.
Okay.
Unfortunately, most times when we get dispatched from maternity, it's because it's something that's something went wrong. And that's usually a bummer, because most of them you get dispatched to, it's there's a miscarriage or something like that. But if you get a chance to actually deliver a healthy baby, that's really cool. And I'm jealous, because I want to be able to say
two.
He gets 2 in a couple months time, and
Okay, but it's only June. Maybe
we're probably not going to have another one for 4 years or something.
Okay, so. But this is 3 in 6 months.
Maybe.
I mean, enough for my interesting calls.
No.
There's just I didn't really think about it beforehand, but I don't really have one that really sticks out. Besides, you just get, I don't really know how to explain it. You just get the weirdest, coolest, strangest. You just run into some great characters and some interesting characters when you're doing. So, I mean, you have people
So the interesting characters and the not great characters.
Well, ones that, we'll put it this way, we don't have to wear masks in the ambulance anymore, but there's times I put a mask on just so I can laugh because it's I don't know what's going on.
I wouldn't be good in those situations.
There's definitely a few times lately I put my mask on. So I can laugh.
But see, they could probably tell you're laughing because your eyes.
Yeah, I have a few times where I had to stand up and walk to the opposite of the ambulance because I couldn't keep my face straight. So, I don't know. You have super dramatic people that are just okay, you just need to chill. It's not that big video.
Yeah.
And then I don't really have a specific thing. It's just every now and then.
Just fun for you,
do it because it's weird because I think my favorite calls are the ones that the patient just opens up to you and just tells them your whole life story.
Yeah.
And I've had that, and I'm I did not ask for that, but they just started spilling their beans basically and everything, and it's that is really cool. And some people
they can trust you. They feel like they can trust you because you're a first responder
and
person.
Those are that's what I enjoy about EMS is because it's fire I enjoy more. Fire is definitely my top. I want to do that. Yeah. But EMS is much more personal, one-on-one, and you get to meet people from all walks of life. Some have really good lives, some have terrible lives. I mean, it's I feel blessed. I grew up in a household that was very blessed, and not a whole lot of bad things go on. And when you're in EMS, it kind of opens your eyes and go, oh, not everyone has that same upbringing. And things that happen in your neighborhood that you're wait, this just happened 2 miles from my place, and I had no idea this this is here. So it kind of opens, and that's what I enjoy about EMS. But
and you can kind of be a light and encourage people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
Some people, literally when there's relief when you show up, it's and there's times
even though sometimes you show up I don't know really what to do, but
there's times that as an EMT it feels like your knowledge is pretty basic, but you got to perform skills, and sometimes I've never seen this before. But people, they definitely trust you when you show up.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. That's actually really awesome.
Yeah, you never really know what you're getting into. When you're going for your night shift, at 6 o'clock, it's all right. I could be up all night, or It can get, yeah. So it's like, it's a very like interesting feeling usually. It's like, all right, here goes. Like, you never know what you're going to get into. So
yeah.
And
The unknowns.
the unknowns and the fact that, like, if you're there's two spots. We have, like, obviously you can drive or you can be the crew chief.
Yeah.
And if you're the crew chief, you are in charge of that, of the crew, unless you have a paramedic show up, then obviously they would take lead on the patient care. But it's like, sometimes it's just like, wait, we cover a pretty large area, and it's like, if something crazy goes down, like, they are going to depend on me. Anyway, you try not to think about that too much sometimes because it freaks you out a little bit.
I'm sure.
But no, it's good. It's
like all that responsibility.
yeah. Sometimes it's like basically.
It's a lot.
I mean, yeah,
but it's amazing.
Yeah, for EMS, like you said, you come up for a night shift. You might run. There's nights I think the most I ever did a night shift was like 6 calls.
Okay.
And there's times you sleep all night. There's times that you are up all night and don't get any sleep. There's times it's just helping grandma up off the floor back into bed, or it's like you run crazy stuff from like.
Grandma fell out of bed.
Yeah.
That happens. It happens
like,
more than you think. So.
That is terrible. Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of things in EMS that, how can I say it? I will gladly help anyone out, but there's some people it's like, okay, like, think.
Just think.
Yeah. You have a car in your driveway,
Uh-huh.
you had back pain for 2 weeks, and you decided to call at 3 in the morning to go get your back pain figured out. Those are the days that I go, yeah, we'll take you to the hospital if that's what you want. So, like, there's some of those where it's just like, come on. But then there's some really cool stuff too. So you get to help people out in different ways. But.
Yeah, that's cool. What would you say to someone who wants to get into firefighting and the
EMS.
EMS? Okay, but why am I saying, because you're EMT certified? Okay, EMS.
Do it.
Yeah, I would recommend.
Yeah,
recommend everyone to do
10
it.
out of 10 recommend.
No.
Even though it's a commitment for like 6 months.
Okay,
Like,
honestly, that's not even that.
Well, it flies.
It feels like when you're looking, it's like, dude, for 6 months, I'm gonna do this, and like, I don't have time for this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then it flies, and you get the outcome of what you get to do with it. But I think the biggest thing that I think is cool is when you do it, you get to be able to, you get put in situations where you have to think and be the calm to the chaos.
Yeah.
And like, that is valuable life skills to anyone. Even if you like do it for a year and you're like,
exactly,
not really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you still gain like good
life
experience.
knowledge.
Yeah.
And especially the EMS or being an EMT, you gain some skill. Even if you don't really, I don't really recommend this, but you can do an EMT class and not actually decide to run on the ambulance, which I think is kind of lame because you learn.
Because then if you do
you get the certification, and it lasts for 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
well, what's the point?
Some people are just like, I just want to do the class to learn, and I'm like,
Oh.
I said 50. It's probably more like 75% of knowledge is like getting on the ambulance, running calls.
It's experience,
and experience,
Yeah.
but
But experience is a lot.
Yeah.
And
that
you
makes
just
sense.
you just kind of learn over the years. I mean, I've been doing it for 4 years now, and there's still stuff that's like, I didn't know that, and you learn something and you keep going. So I think those are the skills, the life skills that. And I've had like other people tell me that were in it in the past and then got out of it because of life happens. And they're like, the best thing I learned was just being the calm in the chaos. Like, because that's literally what you are. Like, when you show up to something, people are freaking out and you have to fix it. So those are the life skills that I think is way more valuable. And you get to just work with people. Yeah. Especially when you start getting into like a little bit more leadership, like even just people skills in the firehouse and stuff like that.
Oh, drumming the firehouse.
We have both agencies that I run with are great organizations. We have great people, but you always have a little bit of stuff you need to work through.
Yeah.
Listen, life is life. So.
Life is life.
Well, anywhere there's people, there's going to be
It's
challenges
true.
to work through.
It's true, even in our own families.
Correct.
Families, churches, work, there's people.
Speaking of families, I saw that Mark Allen just got engaged.
Yes,
Mark
he
Allen
did.
being your brother.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
So
That's crazy. Because I still see Mark Allen to me is still. I still see him, but
I'm with you
Mark, if you watch this, oh my goodness! But like, he's still the little kid, but he's not. You know, he's grown up. He's a man.
he's 2 years younger than me, so he's 23.
Okay.
I haven't really seen him much recently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know when their wedding is, so
Yeah, well, I mean, they just got engaged, so.
yeah. I'm not sure how soon people usually plan their wedding.
Well, I mean, it varies. Some people 6 months, some people a year, some people 2 years. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's very exciting.
yeah. Do you want to know what my dumb moment was this week?
Sure.
Because I have blonde moments all the time. So I was at my cousin's place, and my cousin's husband came in and he's like, "Hey, Sierra, do you like to play a choir?" It's a game. He was asking if I like board games and stuff, and he's like, "Have you ever played a choir?" And I'm like, No, I have never played a choir. And they said it's like a challenging game, all these things.
I think I've heard of it already.
Dude, like 7 minutes later, I'm like, "So do you need to like sing songs or something?" Bro, the man was saying acquire, like you acquire something.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought you did.
Yeah, but my brain was thinking acquire.
I thought that's what you meant for
Acquire.
Acquire.
Dude, the way in which I felt.
Did you play it then?
No. They said it takes 2 hours and you have to think really hard. And I said, "Oh, yeah, no, I can't do that." Dude, I was so embarrassed. See, this is how my brain works. And that was random information about my life. Anyway, well, hey, I think this podcast is probably close to an hour long already.
How was that an hour?
Well, it's like 45 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. And people, if you're interested in firefighting and
Get involved.
EMS.
Yeah, because in Lancaster County, where we're at, there's only 2 or 3 fire companies that are paid. Everything else is volunteer.
Oh.
So like, basically, if you have interest, people are like, absolutely, we'll take you. Because a lot of people don't have great staffing, or basically it depends.
And it seems volunteers seem to be going down like every year. So EMS is a little bit different because most EMS organizations in Lancaster County are paid.
Yeah.
Most are. Yeah.
Okay.
But then, where we run EMS is we have 2 paid crews during the day, but then evenings and weekends it's volunteers.
Yeah. So you guys are working your jobs, and then in the evening you're doing your volunteering thing.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you sleep?
So I was running last night actually. So
Yeah.
I typically run Thursday nights, but
Okay.
I'm going away for family vacation, so I switched with someone.
Okay.
So I ran last night, and
So
I got 5 hours of sleep. But that ain't terrible. I was
No,
up
that's not too
till
bad.
we had 3 calls. I was up till midnight working on charts. So after you run a call, you have to do charts.
You have to chart everything that happens.
Yeah. So you have to put in the patient's demos, all the times that you've responded and stuff, like how you found the patient, what you did to the patient, and what the patient was complaining of, and then you have to write a narrative of basically you have to write a story of how the who call went.
Out here writing essays on people.
So you have to, for every patient contact that you make, you have to write a chart, and that can take. Mine probably take a little bit longer. I would say mine at least take an hour and a half each. But some people can have theirs done within an hour.
If I stick to it, I can usually do about an hour, but
Okay.
they're the least favorite part about EMS.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. So,
But every call, so if you get slammed with 4 calls and you're the lead provider.
so the lead provider does the charts?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you're the lead provider, now you have 4 hours worth of paperwork.
Oh.
So that kind of.
Do you have to do that before you leave your shift?
No.
Okay,
No.
you can just kind of get it done.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
it's something you can pull up on your computer, so you can do it at home.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So-
Well, that's nice in that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, should I finish what I was saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so you were wondering about working volunteering every night and then working. So we had a call around 5 o'clock, and we usually get off at 6.
Oh.
So like we had it's what you call like a late call or like late in the shift. So like we never got back to the firehouse till like 6:30, 6:45.
Mm-hmm.
So then I didn't get to work till like 7:30. So that held me up a little bit. Like, so you have stuff like that where if you have late calls and where you're gonna be like where you're gonna be getting off later than 6.
Yeah.
Because you're technically on duty till 6 o'clock. So.
Yeah.
And a normal call takes around like hour and a half, hour 45 minutes.
Okay.
So if you have a call at 5:30, like half an hour before your shift ends, you're probably not coming back till like at least 7 or 7:15.
Oh, is that like a bummer?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like that's always the thing. It's like, oh, I hope I don't get a late call.
Yeah.
I do Friday nights, so like
he has a little bit.
I just sleep in the next morning and go, unless I have planned the next morning.
Okay.
Yeah. But then like fire calls is like their time. It's all volunteers, so people are leaving work to go run calls.
Okay. So. Well, I guess their jobs know that.
Yeah.
They're
correct.
firefighters, so it's like.
I mean,
as long as not all of their employees are.
Yeah, there's a few shops that have a lot of employees that leave, and that goes. Ain't getting any work done today, especially if you have like a fire that goes all day. So, but the bummer part there is if you leave, let's say you leave that week for 2 or 3 calls, like there goes your overtime. But so that's usually a bummer. Some companies actually pay their employees to run fire calls, but most don't. So.
Would you prefer that yours did?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say because mine does. So.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
But it's just each company kind of does that.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Cool.
Did we give you an idea into like volunteering and firing?
Yeah.
Like
not that I feel led to.
I mean, we're not pressuring you.
Yeah. But like it's what?
I got a great idea for you.
What?
We allow ride-alongs.
Okay.
And so some night when us two are on nameless together, you come do a ride-along with us.
Okay.
Do you think
you sound thrilled?
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down. I also want to do a ride-along with Urban.
Oh,
yes.
Police,
I did that. That's...
Not that I want to become a police officer, because like I can't see that being me or my profession at all. But like I think it would be so fun.
Oh yeah, I know. I actually want to do that too sometime.
Yeah. I did it about 3 months ago. 4 months ago.
Okay.
Cool. I'm not gonna be a cop, I don't think. But yeah, so if you want to see more, you can do ride-along.
Yes, come do ride-alongs with us.
I would do it. I would totally do it, as long as there's a interesting call.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Like
I don't think I could do a baby delivery though. That is one thing that is just not.
I didn't.
I mean, I know you really want to, and you've been to like 2 of them. I just.
you could maybe sit up front then. Like, while everything's happening in the back, you're just sit up front and passenger seat.
Well, but like, wouldn't the woman feel like weird though?
We'll put it this way. Let's say you become an EMT, and there's 2 guys and a female on shift. You will be helping deliver the baby.
See, this is true. See, I can't become an EMT. This makes me can't do it. No, I definitely do want to do a ride along sometime.
That'd be fun. You should do that.
Okay. Well, that's something that'll happen. Can I film it? With my phone.
Could film everything.
No, not people. Not
right,
the
you
people.
could probably
just like
film
myself.
Everything.
Like I would have it on myself, and just like dialogue what's happening.
Oh yeah, like before and after, like while we're going to the call, but not really.
Not people. Like
once we get to the call, you wouldn't be able to. Do that.
No.
Outside of that, I mean, again, I'm not.
I don't.
There,
I wouldn't want to do people because that's like.
No, we're not. It's not even.
Yeah. No.
I don't think that would be a problem.
Yeah. It would just be for myself and my social media.
You and your followers.
Yeah, me and my followers.
Yeah. We could. I mean, we probably have to run it.
Yeah.
Some of the.
Well, I could just go as a
observer.
Observer. Yeah.
I don't think it'd be a big deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's on my list of things to do now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We're not gonna let you forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it'll have to be like in the fall or something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, October's a pretty good month because.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Halloween.
No, like I don't know. It's busy. Like, well, in our area, like once winter hits, once December hits, like all the tourists leave town, and no one does dumb things outside.
Well, I want to be along when people do dumb
So do it
That's what I'm saying.
now. Like now we're getting like starting to get busy. Do it from like now to like probably October.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's usually our busy time.
So in September.
Yeah, you can do it in September.
Okay. Well then, I'll look at my calendar. Yeah. No,
But yeah,
I
this
think
is
that'd
really
be
busy
fun.
time of the year.
Okay.
A lot of people come into town. People are out, like I said, doing dumb things.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Well, once again, thank you guys for joining the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Glad it
It was
worked
fun.
out.
It was fun. I talked myself into doing a ride along.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes.
No, honestly, my favorite thing is like showing people what I enjoy.
Yeah.
So like,
Well,
one of my
yeah,
friends wants
exactly.
to do that. I'm like, absolutely, I'll help you because I love. It's a passion that I have, and if I can show other people
Yeah.
like an insight of it, I love doing that.
And I think actually you showing people your passion and like being, see, we're just still talking. Oh my goodness. That's actually where it would make me want to become an EMT person
Right.
because watching you do your work
Exactly.
with like
Yeah.
so much like
There's some exchange there.
yeah, it's like life for you, life giving for you, and for the people in need.
No pun intended.
Yes. All right. Well, we're gonna stop it off here. See you in the next podcast. Peace.